Affairs. Mr. President, good afternoon and welcome to the program.
Good afternoon. I hope you can hear me and see me clearly.
Thank you so much for according us the chance to have a conversation with you this afternoon. I know that you haven't been feeling well the past few weeks. Maybe we can kick off our discussion by talking about how you're faring currently.
Well, I am doing much better. I am recovering quite well. And I want to take this opportunity to thank the people that supported me, prayed for me, those who were with me during my difficult time when I was sick and underwent an operation. So I'm grateful to all those that supported me and prayed for me. Thank you very much.
Account, and you were informing us that you had appendicitis, and obviously going further, we've seen stories that you initially sold your kidney, and it wasn't the initial condition that made you undergo surgery. I don't know how you react to the stories that have been circulating on social media that you sold your kidney. Is it true?
Well, of course, I would outrightly say it is not true. To start with, there is nowhere, I don't know where body parts are sold. I don't know. People can donate body parts like kidney to somebody, to a relative, to a friend. But selling, I don't think, I don't know of anywhere where you can sell your body parts. So I want to take advantage of telling people that they should not be believing some of these stories, that there is somewhere where you can sell your body parts. I don't think that business exists anywhere. You can donate to somebody, but not to sell. And of course, I am a very transparent person. I tell people even the details of whatever situation that I'm in. Mm-hmm. When I was sick, before I even went into hospital, I was telling people I've got stomach pains and it's not healing. And a number of doctors came in and suggesting, medical personnel from Zambia. They were, the posts are there. They were there telling me what I should do, what I should drink, I should eat. And when I went to the hospital, that is when it was discovered that I had appendicitis. And I needed an operation because it had actually burst. Because you can have appendicitis, but it is just a swell in there. But for me, it had actually burst for a number of days. And that made it critical that I quickly had to go into surgery. But throughout all this, I was informing people. I was telling people every step of the way. Even at a time when I thought that, I'm dying, I was holding on to my phone, crying to people, telling people to say, na papa tamwika tampokulan that whatever my politics. So, unfortunately, this young man, just made a comment on social media to say, life na ishupa. You can end up selling a kidney like Tayali. And my critics, my doomsayers and naysayers, they took that and they ran with it. And here we are today, we are even talking about it on Millennium TV, a big television station. But we are discussing a story which was created by one young man in his state and making a joke. But it is running and it has become serious that I sold my kidney. It's quite unfortunate.
about you saying this was actually propaganda by the patriotic front. Why do you think it is the patriotic front that is actually, spreads rumors?
Actually started this story about you selling your kidney.
Well, unfortunately, our politics is like that. Politics is like that most of the times. When people don't have something substantive, to latch on, they will create false stories, and just for them to make you look bad, because politics is supposed to be a competition of ideas, but unfortunately, sometimes when we run out of ideas, we start creating falsehood. PF at the moment, they are not happy with me because I'm not agreeing with them, particularly on the issue of the burial of Edgar Chagwalungu. And I think the reasons that I'm putting forward, they are difficult for them to refute or to counter. So instead of engaging me on the substantive issues, they have decided to bring in lies so that they can malign me, deflecting from the real issue and bringing in this issue to say Tayali has sold a kidney. Okay, fine. Let's imagine if I sold the kidney, if indeed it is true. What has it got to do with the burial of Edgar Lungu and my call for President Edgar Lungu to be buried? Because that is my issue. So what has it got to do with that? But unfortunately, that's what it is. When people cannot reason, they will find something, to smear you.
Do you have any proof that the PF is the one is the Patriotic Front is one that is spreading these lies about you and your health condition, or is it just you assuming that you've created an enemy in the Patriotic Front because of how you've been, dealing with issues pertaining to the Patriotic Front? And I don't think this is the first time you're being vocal, especially around the burial of the former head of state. Your criticism about the Patriotic Front started even before President Lungu died.
Well, so at every point, for me, when I take a position, people usually don't fail to challenge my arguments. Usually they don't. And so they go into either demeaning me or creating just falsehood. And this is not just about PF. It is also about UPND. If I don't agree with my UPND will come up with all sorts of stories. They will create stories to say Tayali has been paid by so and so. Tayali is whatever, all sorts of things that they can think of. They will throw this shade. Similarly, the PF, they also do the same. I mean, I'm a politician who is paid by everyone. As long as I don't agree with one group, then they will come up and say you have been paid. When I support the PF never say, no, we are now paying Tayali to speak for us. But UPND will say, PF has paid Tayali to say this. Now, I'm not in agreement with what is happening with PF. But PF are saying, UPND has hired Tayali. And since that doesn't seem to be, helping them, they come up with other lies such as I've sold my kidney. Now, if I'm being paid by UPND, how can I sell my kidney? Because then I should have money. How can I sell my kidney? Anyway, it is part of politics, and for me, these things, I just laugh at them and, move on. The only problem is some people, the citizens out there, tend to believe some of these stories. That is where I get concerned.
Right. Let us speak about your position right now as EEP president. Are you, you call yourself the biggest political opposition political party in Zambia, even though you're not in Zambia. We've seen you in the recent past, even as we speak right now. You've been siding with the UPND. You've been taking sides with the UPND, criticizing the opposition in general, not just the Patriotic Front. What is your position currently? Are you trying to defect to the UPND, or are you trying to stay in opposition?
So you see, first of all, I will say that I'm still the president of Economic and Equity Party, EEP. Although, of course, since I'm not in the country, there is somebody that is acting. Mr. Francis Shafwepa is the one that is acting president since I am out of jurisdiction. But I still remain the substantive president of that party. And I still maintain that I am not PF, neither am I UPND. And I am not, I don't see myself defecting to either PF or any party for that matter, or UPND. I still remain an opposition political party leader. I call myself to say I'm the biggest opposition in Zambia. Because surely, even you, my sister, if you look around, what name really rings out? What name is ubiquitous politically in Zambia? I stand. You know, pona I mean in a palamoneka. That's why na fiance if bale pangati yo shani na shitisha kidney whatever. If vampangiro bufi. They come up with all these lies because you know pona I mean how palamoneka. And no one can refute that. Nangufeni ba enchi de mabali shiba. Nangufeni ba lungu ile tabarafu abali shiba. Namukufwa kwabo bali shiba tu yumuntu alikwata influence. And the politics about influence. So I may not be in the country, but surely I have that influence. I'm sure nangwapa penefe tule tamba apa tule landapa. Ngawalo tuma numbers. You will see that people are excited. They want to hear what Chilufya Tayali is saying. So it is a fact. But now the issue to say, now you are agreeing with the UPND. I follow issues. The problem to akwata, if I agree with you on one issue, then I have become a part of your party. I'm agreeing with UPND because my UPND or government is saying Edgar Lungu must be brought to Zambia and be buried in Zambia. And that is my position as well. So we agree on that one. But that doesn't mean that I've become UPND. This is one particular issue, just this one particular issue. I'm agreeing with them. If you talk about other issues, my position might be different. But I want to PF, you agree with them on one thing, then you have become PF. You agree with UPNG just on one thing, then you have become UPND. Inenkonkama issues. Like if you moneka, you were not never tawe, but vista now moneka wino. Now moneka wino. No manga now moneka wino. Instead I want to atampe kwa tao te ala refuaro vista. We ndeta shofo fuere, ndeta shofo le moneka. Mushi kubwale no. Tekwa bati nishina kupene ndefu atuise unjipikile kwa wadi kumalejawe.
Right. Mr. President, had you been in Zambia at the moment, moving around as a free man, moving about freely in Zambia, with all the issues that we know that you have, which, led you to leaving the country. We've seen you on most of your live videos asking the UPND, even the president, to have mercy on you so that you return to your country. Had you been moving freely in Zambia right now, would you have been siding with the UPND or would you have been criticizing the Lungu family and the Patriotic Front?
First of all, I pleaded with the President Hakainde Hichilema when I was very sick. It was really, it was critical. The situation was very critical. And I was thinking, I mean, I should die here. I really wanted to come back home to Senga. Okay? So, that was the issue. The first issue is that I was very sick. The second issue is that, the bill was very high. The bill that was given, what was presented to me, for the diagnosis and the surgery, it was almost coming to $500,000. It was, it was estimated around 346,000 kwacha. And of course, this is without the bed, without the, being admitted in hospital, the medication. So really, we look at it that it might come to almost 500,000. And to be honest with you, I don't have that 500,000. I didn't have that 500,000. So I reached out to people. I reached out to the government, particularly President Hakainde Hichilema, so that they can help me. I even wish to say, if I can go back, to Zambia, I can be treated cheaper and whatever. So the issue I'm trying to say is that when I was making those pleas, reaching out to President Hakainde Hichilema, to the government, including to the citizens, I was not doing it because therefore I mbwele kuzambia mbe free. No. I was doing it because of my situation in which I was as a sick person needing medical attention. In terms of me coming back to Zambia, because people are linking this to say, ule support Tefi because ule for kubwela. Again, this is the deflection that I'm talking about. There is no link, my coming back to Zambia and the position that I've taken relating to Edgar Lungu being buried in Zambia. I'm a person that it's difficult, even for UPND or PF, because I speak the way I look at things. So I wouldn't cheat myself, and I'm telling you on this big platform of yours. I don't cheat myself that I can come to Zambia and be left to be free. I don't think so. I don't think so. Now, maybe you can be treated in Gakufa or freedom Zambia. It was not about me securing my freedom. I don't think Hakainde Hichilema or the UPND government can give me that freedom. And this is not just about UPND, because abantu that by UPND balenga tufume muchalo. No, even by PF they used to arrest me. So I think at the moment for me, I am better off out.
It's both the PF and the UPND that made you leave the country.
Basically, what I'm saying is that they find it difficult to give me my freedom. Basically, the PF found it difficult to give me my freedom, even as they are in opposition. They find it difficult to give me my freedom, because above taking a position and they are busy saying all sorts of things and accusing whatever. So basically,
but we saw you mingle with the Patriotic Front on so many occasions, dine with the late president. We saw you interact with members of the Patriotic Front on so many occasions. How then do you say that they found it difficult to give you a freedom?
Yes, it's true. I mean, just like two married people, I mean, sometimes you see them walking hand in hand. Ngafita tuwarenda na banakia Mzambia. Ture utuka shani. But that doesn't mean that we were not fighting. Sometimes you fight. And it's the same with our PF. There were times, yes, when we were okay. There were times when I was busy shouting, gate ya Balungu to say, hey, Balungu, you can't cut the gate. What? We agreed on that. But on this particular issue, we are not agreeing. The problem abantu bachitati, you know, if you agree with let's say like the way I'm agreeing with Hakainde Hichilema, then I should not disagree with him on any other issue. In apopo ama politics ya issue pillar, because you can't agree on anything, on everything. Even with your own parents, with your own parents, you can't agree. You know, you may not agree. You may not agree on certain things. So, hii problem abantu kwa tiali shupa kufie sana ba politics. Pantuena bafuaya what we call that blind loyalty, psychophantism, where you just praise. Hakainde Hichilema fiance ni kwenyu. Ngawamuna Hakainde Hichilema kwenyu. Then you are a loyal a colleague. Same kuliba PF. Fiance file chitika PF na ngubalande finti fishkwete ifishirondolwe kevota usumine. Iwe kusumi nafe. Iyo lungu bamushike kuna nikane kusumi nafe. Iyo Hakainde Hichilema lefo kumone chitumbi iwe kusumi nafe. Awe inetefo now. So my dear sister, responding to you is that yes, there are times when we agree on certain things. There's times when we can sit and laugh and joke, but there will be times when we don't agree. And me, I'm not shy. I'm not a coward to tell people to say, if it afiweme. Apopene, epa vero guafia na Chilufya Tayali.
For a man like you, Mr. Tayali, that for a long time criticized the UPND government, you've spoken so loudly of how they ill-treated you even before you left the country. I think we hosted you on our platforms a number of times before you left the country, and you spoke about how the UPND ill-treated you. There are videos of how police at a time invaded your residence, and right now you say you're siding with the UPND government. You think there's something that President Hakainde Hichilema and his government are doing well. What is it that has made you, turn around and think President Hakainde Hichilema is the man? Because we've seen you, the videos that you've brought up on your page, saying that he was maltreated by the Patriotic Front. But at the time when you were in the country, these are not the issues that you were speaking to. What has made you change?
So, we need to separate issues. You know, we need to contextualize issues. When you talk about, yes, I mean, when I was in the country, I was really persecuted by the UPND government, which made me to even be in exile, be in exile. And the evidence is there. The evidence is there, is overwhelmingly there. Now, those are my issues on how I was persecuted. Now we have this issue here by Edgar Lungu. This issue about Edgar Lungu, it's very straightforward to me. The Lungu family, so to say, now PF, they are saying, no, Edgar Lungu should be buried in South Africa because that's what Edgar Lungu said. Edgar Lungu said, no, not that's what Edgar Lungu, because Edgar Lungu said that inenga nafwa nshirefwa Hakainde Hichilema kapalameko. Okay? And then the second reason, the family is saying, if we prefer to shike ba Lungu kuno ku South Africa, because ngatwa ku Zambia, we don't trust the government. Hakainde Hichilema might be part of the funeral. We don't want him to be part of the funeral. This is the position that they have taken, and this position is different from my persecution and me being in exile. These are two different issues. So on this issue, Lungu, according to me, I'm saying, umuntu ngafwa na ngwalipa kufwa. you don't perpetuate whatever rivalry, whatever enmity, whatever differences that you could have had with people. You don't die and say, initially for you yake seko. Awe. I mean, we want to die in peace. We want to die in peace. We want to reconcile with God. We want to reconcile with our friends. So, Balunga, as much as I loved him, Balunga, as much as I was at his house, you know, defending him, I don't agree with him when these people are saying, no, he said, to me, that is not good. As much as Hakainde Hichilema may have done something wrong to me, and I'm in exile, surely that is perpetuating bitterness. So I don't agree with bitterness. And then the family saying, no, we should bury him in South Africa because Hakainde Hichilema will force himself to be part of the funeral. I mean, for me, that is hatred against one person. So I don't agree with this. So, in other words, what I'm trying to say is that I have my issues now, Pusana. As much as ndimu exile, if you feel under family, I don't agree with it. That is my position. So take over ni contradiction, atapali contradiction. Nga muambo kulanda kama issues yanduko bati tayari bushe chali shani waikere shani Muzambia chinshale ngoko bati ube mu exile. Nalalondolola. I will explain. Just like I used to explain when I used to come on your TV. That position hasn't changed. But on this one, so there is a difference.
All right. Taking you back a little bit, when you speak about your sickness, you know, undergoing surgery, the bills that were mounting up, and pleading with President Hakainde Hichilema so that you can come back home and maybe receive you know, medical attention. Now that you've been operated on, you're probably you're recovering well, as we can see. Have you decided that you wouldn't want to return to Zambia?
Even in my sickness, I was going to reluctantly come back. I was going to reluctantly go. You know, you have reached a desperate situation, but really, it is not an issue that I would easily jump on. Okay, it is not an issue that I will simply jump on. So even in those moments, I want to say it was the difficult situation that I was in, and you call to people, you know, when you are in that situation. And now I'm recovering. I mean, certainly my position is still the same. So I'm trying to say that it is not that a change of mind that no, I've changed my mind. No, even in that position, I was reluctant, and I must see a review to you, taking this opportunity, that actually government did reach out. Government did reach out. I was called by government officials, and they told me that you come back. You come back. We have heard your plea, and we are saying you come back. We can organize the ticket. You come back. But firstly, I mean, I was very sick at that moment. I had just come out of the operation, and somehow, you know, I was not so sure, but they did reach out.
Why were you not so sure when you were pleading for the government to bring you back home in the condition that you are in? Why did you have a second thought in accepting their offer to you?
Yeah. So the first point is that I had just come out of the operation. That was the first thing. So at that moment, I was not able to jump on a plane. Okay. I was not able to jump on a plane. And I mean, from here to Zambia, you need about 21 hours, you know, it's a long haul. So I couldn't, even if. But then secondly, yes, you know, there are those situations where you are pleading and whatever, but still more of a tawiko for sure to say, you know, you know. So pale wamfako bwino. Since now kwata kukalaka mtima ayo, I know you have got that doubt. Kwa that kanji kalefe kuno kuinemwe for the meantime.
So in the moment you were feeling it was a trap?
Not really, no. I don't want to look at it because now if I start looking at it to say it's a trap, then it's like I am taking away the goodwill that may have been there. Okay? I mean, they told me to come.
But this was still thoughts in your mind, thinking that maybe when I go back, tabakaende, as you've put it.
Hey, it's me now. That is me. So I cannot put it on government. Ndampo kupange fin to that I think bale nzembele kafyawe. Nishnambo kulufya nyapo. I must say that nikuli ine nemwine. Ikuli ine nari mwana because they told me come back. So I'm wondering even today if I say I want to come, maybe they can say come back. But I think nshabako show up open up. Nshabako show up because kuno at least yes ndachura kumufya kuchura filafine, but I have my freedom. I have my freedom, and what I'm looking for is the freedom. Apandela ndanove, I am not scared kwebati ngana rende fya kulandaranda wala toroka ma offense vese banjikate. I'm speaking freely. Nangu ngana isa pa live. Efondanda. I speak things from my own point of view. Whether baka inde ichtema batemwa or tabatemenwe, whether ba PF batemwa or tabatemenwe, I speak freely. At least that is something that this place has given me. And I treasure that freedom. But when I come back to Zambia, I always doubt to say, will I have that freedom?
Right. Let me pick this call, Mr. President, as we also proceed with our conversation. Good afternoon.
Hello. Good afternoon, Millennium TV.
Good afternoon. You're through to the program. Your name is and where you're calling us from?
My name is John, calling you from Houston.
Yes, John.
Yes. And in my regards to Mr. Tayali.
All right.
Yeah, you see, for me, first and foremost, that man that you are hosting, he cannot be trusted. That's my personal opinion. He cannot be trusted because he flip-flops. One day he's on UPND side, the other day he's on the other opposition political parties. But he's made an allegation saying that the government told him to come back. So can he please tell us the name of the person who told him to come back? Because he's a fugitive. He ran away from the law. So can he give us the name of the person who told him to come back? Then lastly, I think he should stay away from the Lungu family because he actually insulted. I don't know how old he is because he talks like a 15, 20-year-old kid.
All right.
But I don't know how
we'll ask you to keep your contributions respectful.
Yes, I'm being respectful. I haven't insulted. I'm just saying I don't know how old he is. And that's a fact. But the way he comes, he insulted Makebi Zulu right on social media. So how would he feel if somebody else insulted him? Because Makebi Zulu is a family man. He's got kids. He's got a wife. He's got parents. So can he tell us the name of the person who told him to come back?
All right. Thank you so much.
He's a fugitive. Let him just stay there.
Thank you so much. All right. We officially open our phone line this afternoon. The number that you're calling us on is 0770813728. That is the number that you're dialing to be part of the conversation. We host Economic and Equity Party President Chilufya Tayali this afternoon on the National Pulse. We're also streaming this program live on our Facebook page, Millennium TV Zambia. Do come through, be part of the conversation. Leave us a comment in our comment section. You can also reach us via the same number on WhatsApp. And be part of the conversation this afternoon. Mr. President, I'll let you respond to John. He asks, who's the person that actually, got in touch with you from the government that you should return to Zambia, and also he raises issues about trust when it comes to you.
So first of all, my brother seems to be very emotive. Very emotive. And understand, the politics is emotive. Politics stirs emotions. And he says, I can't be trusted because I flip-flop. Today I'm on UPND, the other day I'm on PF. I've never been on PF. I have never been on UPND. It is the issues. Issues. It is not about PF, it's not about UPND, it's about the issue. Like this issue here, Valungu. Yes, before I was with Valungu and what. But I don't agree with Valungu Mukufwa Kwawo to say, Ishilefwaya, Hakainde Ichilemaka Parliament. I don't agree with him. So it's the issue, it's not about PF. And when I this issue, UPND is also saying, no, let him come back and be buried. We want him to be buried in Zambia. So we agree. It is this issue that we agree. It is not that me, I have become UPND on UPND. This is the problem that we have in Zambia. Once you agree on a particular issue, and then he's challenging me to say, you are saying somebody could offered you that you should come. I mean, you know, government works as a system. So there are situations when you don't have to bring up, this is the person. Because whoever that person who called me representing government, there is no way I would come up and say, this one. All you is that government responded to my plea, except that at that moment I was too ill, I couldn't jump on a plane. And now, yes, I'm recovering. I am still a little bit doubtful if I can have my freedom if I come back. So basically, I think that's then the other that he is saying, I think my brother is just being emotive, and I understand him.
Right. For a person like you that has, you know, dined with the Lungu family, you've interacted with the former First Lady. Do you think the manner in which you have come out in this current issue is, you know, is something that even if the former First Lady was to read, or I'm sure she sees your comments, she sees what you post on your Facebook page, do you think the way that you come out in this issue is something that, you know, is respectable?
Well, unfortunately, my dear sister, when you are doing politics, ila shu pokuleta morality. Ila shu pokuleta morality, and you know, to say this way and that way. According to me, I will tell you, I do understand Valungu Balifwa. I do understand Valungu was a husband to Esther. I do understand Valungu was a father. And I respect that. And I sympathize and offer condolences to the family. But in regard to what is currently happening,
sorry to cut you short, Mr. President. One would argue, actually, in your submissions, that you're not sympathizing with the Lungu family in their current situation.
So, I want you to get the distinction. Mm-hmm. Valungu as a husband, Valungu as a father, I sympathize and offer my condolences to the widow and to the children at that level. But when it comes to the issue that we are grappling with now, that is not a family matter now. That has gone into politics. That is not a family matter. And why do I say it's not a family matter? When you start saying, if we pachiriro chesu taturefwaya uyuhaka inde ichinemake seko, you have entered into the realm of politics. You have entered into the realm of politics. If we taturefwa tushiko yulungu kuzambia Bantu Lungu was not treated properly by Hakainde Ichilema, you have brought in politics. Ngamulefo okulira wino ngo lupwa. Don't bring in politics. And we have seen other families who have lost their loved ones. One good example is Bamaewa Nawakwi, the recent funeral that we had. Banawakwi was an arch rival politically of Hakainde Hichilema. We all know what was there. But when Banawakwi died, the whole nation came together. Both the ruling party and the opposition, they came together to mourn. We didn't see the family members standing up to say, Hakainde Hichilema eke sako kuno. We didn't see, no, Nawakuma Muchitirefi. We know these things were there. But the family respected the funeral. They respect the funeral. Vamaewa Esther Lungu and the family, they have not respected the family. Instead, they have politicized the funeral. And since they have politicized the funeral, I am also taking it from a political point of view.
Right. From the family's point of view, I think even from their submissions earlier, even as they were getting into an agreement with the Zambian government at the time that President Lungu died, they indicated that President Lungu's wish was that President Hakainde Hichilema should not come close to ECL's body. And probably this is why the Lungu family has still insisted that President Hakainde Hichilema should not preside over President Lungu's funeral. How then do you suggest, the family of the Lungu family should have handled this particular issue, seeing that they indicated that this was a wish of the former 6th Republican president?
So, Valungu, when he was dying,
I'll kindly ask you to hold your thoughts, Mr. President. Allow me to take this call. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir. Your names and where you're calling us from?
Mr. Mwini. Sak.
Yes, Mr. Mwini.
Yes. Good afternoon, Mr. Guy.
Good afternoon.
We can hear you. Please go ahead with your contribution or question.
Yes, I just want to disagree with Mr. Guy. Yes. In as much as he wants to bring politics forward to this issue, when the family put their demand on the table, it doesn't mean they are playing politics. And if the family demands to say, we don't want ABCD, in fact, even the government had put some demands on the table to say no, because the program was like, the body was supposed to go to Copper Belt, then Eastern Lusaka. Then the government said no, at least you have to compromise on certain things. Then the family compromised on Copper Belt and Eastern, then they said to be buried in, it will be just, the body will be just in Lusaka. But when it comes to government, to say, we don't want ABC, the government has failed to compromise. That's what the problem is. We cannot talk about politics. The government has failed to compromise. That's what the problem is. If the government had agreed to the compromise which the family has demanded, we would have been where we are today.
Mr. Mwini, thank you so much.
Are because government has failed to compromise.
Thank you so much for your contribution.
In simple terms.
All right. The number that you're calling us on is 0770813728. The same number is the number that you can use to reach us via WhatsApp. You can also leave us a comment in our comment section on our Facebook page, Millennium TV Zambia. We feature EEP President Chilufya Tayali this afternoon on the program. Mr. President, I'll let you respond to my question, also Mr. Mwini's contribution.
Yeah. So, first of all, I mean, I don't know if I should start with what you are talking about. Right. You are saying that the family, in short, you are saying that the family is respecting the wish of Edgar Lungu. Okay, that is basically, I mean, my summary of it. You said the family is only respecting the wishes of the late. Now, from my point of view, why did Edgar Lungu say that? Balungu said that because Hakainde Hichilema is a political rival. That's why he said whatever he said. He's a political rival. So we are already in the realm of politics. That hatred is not personal. That hatred is because of politics. So we are already in the realm of politics. Then the family also comes up to say, no, we want to respect the will. But which will are they respecting? The bitterness as a result of politics. So the family have also entered into politics. They have drawn themselves into politics. Because if they didn't draw themselves, if they didn't want to be part of the politics, if they didn't want to do politics, surely these are some of the issues that you just put aside wisely as a family.
Allow me to take another call, Mr. President.
Yes.
Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, madam.
Good afternoon, sir. Your names and where you're calling us from?
I'm calling from Musaka. My name is John.
Yes, Mr. John.
Yes. Good afternoon, Mr. Tayali.
Good afternoon, John.
Yes, there's one question that I would like to ask Mr. Tayali. It's in regards to do with the state funeral. When you talk about state funeral, I'll give a good example of what happened in America, where Donald Trump was told not to be present. Isn't it to do with it?
Hello? All right, I think we seem to be having issues with network. Mr. John, I'll ask you to kindly call us back so that you make your submissions on the program. The number is 0770813728. So that is the number that you're dialing to be part of the program. Mr. President, I'll get back to you. In your response, Mr. Mwene raised the issue of saying that the demand from the family is not political. And also, he talks about compromise from the end of the government.
Yes. So, I want to emphasize your question because it leads to what Mr. Mwene, I don't know if it's Mwene or Mwenya.
Mwene.
But anyway, so the point is that if we ask ourselves, why did Edgar Lungu make such a wish at his deathbed? He made such a wish because of the political rivalry that existed. It was not personal. It's not that it is politics. And so he was making those wishes as a result of the political rivalry. Now, he comes in to say, the family put up their proposals, and government also put up their proposals or their demands. I don't know, but I don't know of the demands that government has put. As far as I'm concerned, I think the government has been so patient. The government has been so tolerant, and I think they have even compromised in many ways. He has said the family wanted to take the body to different parts of.
Are there any particular, are there any particular cases you might want to highlight that? Ways in which the government has, compromised in this particular issue. Are there any ways that you want to highlight?
Yes. Number one, when the news broke that President Edgar Chagwa Lungu has died, government sent the Foreign Affairs Minister Mlambo Aimbe with a plane and some government officials to go and repatriate the body together with the family. And unfortunately, that is where the issues started. The family could not accept that gesture. From my point of view, I think that was a good gesture from the government point of view to go and say, can we go back together? They sent a plane. So that for me is good. Then number two, President Hakainde Hichilema himself, he was an arch rival of Edgar Chagwa. Today we are emphasizing the negatives that the government did to Hakainde Hichilema, to Edgar Lungu. But there are also issues that would come from Hakainde Hichilema. Hakainde Hichilema also suffered at the hands of President Edgar Chagwa. But Hakainde Hichilema, instead of bringing up those issues, for him, he came out with a message of unity, with a message of reconciliation, a message of, let's mourn together. I think that was very mature of President Hakainde Hichilema. Then, the UP and the PF, when that happened, they started an onslaught of maligning our country. Okay? Because when you malign the government, you are maligning the country. They started by saying, this is Nakachinda, as well as Makebi Zulu. They were busy talking to the media of how bad our government is. But we didn't see a response from the government, to attack those people. They even went as far as trying to insinuate that the government of Hakainde Hichilema poisoned the late president. But the government has always been serene. They have been serene. They have not been able to engage these people. I think that is very good. And then, even when they started these negotiations and everything, government has been sending people to South Africa, including traditional leaders, including religious leaders. They have been going there to go and engage. From my point of view, I think government has compromised, government has been prudent, government has been sympathetic with the family. But the family on the other side, they have been very adamant. My brother is saying that government has not compromised. For me, what I've not seen a compromise, a part which I've seen which is not compromising, is the family. The family has not compromised. They have stood their grounds. He's talking about, they said the body should go around and whatever. Government refused that, most probably because of the issue, the cost that is attached to that. Because it is very expensive to move around a body in the country. It's very expensive. So I think that is the issue. But nonetheless, if you want, you can say government shouldn't have. But from my point of view, I think government has been more tolerant, more receptive than the family.
Right. Allow me to take this call, Mr. President. Hello, good afternoon. Good afternoon, you're through to the program. Your names and where you're calling us from.
Good afternoon, thank you.
Tell us your names, please, and where you're calling us from.
This is Kamfor.
Yes, Mr. Kamfor.
Good afternoon, Mr. Tayali.
Good afternoon, my brother.
Kamfor, where you're calling us from?
Yes, Mr. Tayali.
Please go ahead with your contribution or question.
Yes, sir. Yeah, Mr. Tayali, what is there is, you are saying everyone suffered. The current president suffered, even the late president suffered. So, where they did is that the current president did not lead to death, but the suffering of the late president, somebody is dead. That's what the problem is. If, what we can say is, this problem was supposed to be ironed out before it's too late. Where the problem is, because this one is too late. And you are saying it's very expensive to take the body to Copper Belt and the Chipata. Okay. Look, it's also very expensive to send the charter to go and bring the body, a plane. Also to accommodate Venakavesha Murilo, whoever is there. Government is spending money. It's just the same. So what the thing is, you were supposed to iron out these issues. love within a short period of time. Yeah, we can have problems, but let's have a dialogue. We sit down, you iron the problem before it's too late. Thank you, Mr. Tayali.
Thank you so much, Kamfo, for calling through. The number is 0770813728. That is the number that you're getting in touch with us on the program. Now, Mr. Tayali, as we also respond to Mr. Kamfo on his question, you've spoken about the relationship that existed between, the differences that existed between the late president and the current head of state was just that of political rivalry. But then how do you describe a relationship of two leaders that failed to convene in order for them to reconcile over issues that have happened in the past or current issues that were happening even when President Lungu was alive? How then do you describe their relationship? Don't you think that when two leaders fail to convene, they fail to have a dialogue, then that is now beyond political rivalry? It is now a personal issue.
Well, and I'll connect to what Kamfwa is saying. That, look, at the end of the day, somebody is dead. But look, the issue is that no one knows when one will die. Nobody knows. Nobody knows. We don't know. I don't know when I will die. I don't know when Hakainde Hichilema will die. And certainly we didn't know when Edgar Lungu was going to die. And even Hakainde Hichilema, by the fact that he didn't die, you can't say that he was treated better by Edgar Chagwa because him is still alive and Edgar Lungu is dead. I don't think so. Because if you look at the death, surely the death is not linked to the political rivalry that was there. It is not linked. Because if you say, no, this one is dead, it is not that he died as a result of, the political rivalry that was there. I don't think that is the situation. And especially myself, who is well aware of the ailment of Edgar Lungu and how he died. Certainly there is no link between the political rivalry and his death. As far as I'm concerned, his death was just natural. It was just his time. So it would not be right for us to say, now he's dead. You see, because of the political rivalry that you had, now he's dead. No, he didn't die as a result of the political rivalry. And I keep insisting to say political rivalry. But you have brought in to say, when these people can't even sit together and whatever. This is something that we should learn from, because those who are gone, they are gone. But those of us who have remained, life is for the living. So we are still alive and we should take lessons that, as much as we may be differing politically, we should be able to recognize that we are brothers and sisters. We are human beings. We are children of God. So our political rivalry should have some limit whereby it doesn't go into, personal, emotions, whereby one has to die and say, I don't want this person to come to my funeral. And from my point of view, as much as I may agree that, yes, there were certain things that were done to Edgar Lungu which were not right, I am still saying that we cannot continue with that. Because if we are going to agree to say, no, this is what Edgar Lungu said, then fiafumana politics nomba fiaisana kuchirilo. This is the question that you have asked. Whereby fiafumana politics nomba muafileta na pachirilo. Is that what we should agree? Is that what we should do? And for me, that is what I'm refusing. I am not in any way refusing that Edgar Lungu would have been treated better. I'm not in disagreement with that. What I'm in disagreement is whereby muafichita over nomba muafileta na pachiriro. Fiamuya yaya nomba, it should continue forever and ever. If you're ndekana, and we should try as much as we can, to look at each other as brothers and sisters. Even me, when I was very sick, I didn't call to say, hey, Chavanashan. I called for unity. And even now, when I'm in exile, I don't speak of Hakainde Hichilema like a personal enemy. No. When I talk about Hakainde Hichilema, even here, when I talk to other people, I simply say there are political differences. They are political differences.
All right. Thank you. Thank you so much for those submissions, Mr. President. And I'll pick another call as time is not on our side. We'll see if we can get your concluding remarks. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, madam. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you, sir. Your names and where you're calling us from?
My name is Mr. Joseph Banda, calling with Lusaka town.
Yes, Mr. Banda.
How are you, Mr. Tayali?
I'm fine, Mr. Joseph Banda.
Mr. Tayali, how are you?
He says he's fine, Mr. Banda.
Okay, thank you so much. Madam, I want to concur with Mr. Tayali. Yes, this funeral has become so political, and would want also to know the words which the late Edgar Lungu said. Was it recorded that as people Zambians we say, okay, he said it? Is there any evidence that Mr. Lungu said that we can be of it, even us as the citizens of Zambia? Because as it is now, I think we cannot go in that way. When it becomes to funeral, it's funeral, non-political. I think for that I can concur with Mr. Tayali. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Mr. Banda. Unfortunately, that is the last call that will be taken this afternoon on the program. Thank you so much for everyone that has been able to call through. Just to get back to you, Mr. President, as we conclude with our discussion this afternoon, I think a lot of people from the way from your Facebook posts, videos on Facebook, the way you've spoken about the affairs of the nation, people feel like, there isn't any stability in your leadership, and you're a man who calls himself that he's got the biggest opposition political party in Zambia, even though you're not in Zambia still, and you said you've got a representative, Mr. Francis. People have questioned your stability as a leader in the way that you speak about national issues.
Well, it is normal. It is very normal. And for me, I welcome it. I welcome all those that are critical of my leadership qualities. I welcome all those that question, my strategies and everything. It is normal. It is normal. We cannot all agree. And by the fact that there are some people who don't agree with me, it doesn't mean that everybody else does not agree with me. No. There are others who agree with me. There are others who agree with me. And this is why we go for elections. Because when you go for elections, then you will know how many are in support of you and how many don't agree with you. But for me, whenever I have contested elections, though I have not won, I have had significant numbers to show that there are a lot of people that agree with me more than some of those other politicians that people think to say, you're a politician. When I contested as a mayor in Lusaka, I got more votes than some of these other opposition political party leaders. More votes. When I contested as a member of parliament, again, even they came number 4. So wherever I've contested as a number 3, as a member of parliament, I came number 4. Whenever I've contested, I've had votes. Remember, my campaign, kula boko na urupia, kula boko pere mpia ifitenge and whatever. Inata mwatara monapo ichitenge cha kwa Chilufya Tayali cha EEP. Tamwatara monapo t-shirt yashan. But people still vote for me. So for me, it gives me the confidence that at the moment I am the biggest opposition political party leader, because all those who are, whenever they have contested, they have not gotten more votes than me. So that is my basis.
Right. Mr. Tayali, it's been a pleasure having you on our program this afternoon. And thank you so much for making time for making time for us today and just being part of today's conversation. Thank you so much.
And please keep up Millennium Radio and Millennium TV. You know, these are our stations. Have been known because of your stations. You are the people that have promoted us. So for some of us, we are forever indebted and grateful.
Right.
Thank you.
Wishing you a quick recovery. Thank you so much once again.
Thank you.
All right, we came to the end of our discussion this afternoon with EEP President, Economic and Equity Party President, Mr. Chilufya Tayali, who was joining me via video as we're looking at current affairs. My name is Lovisa Chilufya. Thank you so much for tuning in. Do join us tomorrow for another exciting edition of the Nation Pulse program on Millennium TV. Do stay tuned to Millennium TV and have yourself a good day. Thank you.